Sports fans, hit subscribe, because Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift just made a massive Madison Square Garden wedding announcement, and it changes the entire playbook. An on-stage tribute just tipped off the newlyweds' next move. In this video, you and I are watching the exact on-stage footage revealing this powerhouse couple's future game plan. The big date circled on everyone's calendar finally kicked off. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce officially tied the knot on July 3rd, 2026 at Madison Square Garden in New York City. The stadium marquee broadcasted the final score for the whole city to witness, lighting up bright with the message, "Justin Tay married," right after the final whistle blew. Madison Square Garden shined Friday night with 3 words no sports desk could ignore. Justin T married. But hours before that arena sign even powered on, a country music icon was already scouting the couple's firstborn child, joking on camera about claiming the future rookie before the pre-game walk down the aisle. The roster of guests signed non-disclosure agreements. Even the White House posted a Photoshop joke about the arena marquee. Meanwhile, amidst a massive $26 million charity run, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift sparked a rumor mill that is still spinning. Is a baby announcement next up? Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift just secured the ring, and forecasting their first kid is now the biggest betting line in the nation. As an editor, I want you to hit like as we review the tape, because the sheer scale of this wedding between Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce happened on July 3rd, 2026, at Madison Square Garden in New York City. We are not talking a Nashville backyard or a private island. The literal home court of the New York Knicks and Rangers was totally rented out and transformed for game day. Swift's publicist, Tree Payne, confirmed that the 14-time Grammy Award winner and our 3-time Super Bowl champion got hitched in a lavish ceremony before 1,000 VIP guests at Madison Square Garden in New York on Friday night. 1,000 attendees watching 2 of the most heavily scouted humans on Earth finally signed the long-term contract. And when the clock hit 0, the stadium did not stay quiet. The iconic arena's outside marquee flashed Justin T married after the main event wrapped up. Fans crowding the barricades caught the live announcement in real time across giant stadium lights on a Friday night in downtown Manhattan. But here is the roster move that made it feel personal instead of a mere media circus. The undisputed pop music, MVP, and our future Hall of Fame tight ends skipped the traditional wedding party playbook. Swift was flanked by her man of honor, brother Austin Swift, while Kelce called up his brother and fellow gridiron legend Jason Kelce as best man. No deep bench of a dozen bridesmaids, just family holding the line where family is supposed to be. The uniforms, if you are tracking the stats, were absolute high fashion. The bride and groom tied the knot in custom gear by Christian Dior Haute Couture, drawn up by Jonathan Anderson. And they also laced up custom footwear made by Christian Louboutin, with the bride rocking Cartier jewelry. And Swift's front office ensured this matchup carried major fashion history. A PR rep confirmed the custom designs were built by Jonathan Anderson, creative director of Dior's men's, women's, and haute couture divisions, in tight teamwork with the couple, notching the designer's first ever couture wedding dress for a globally recognized superstar. But who officiated the game? Not a judge or a pastor. The head referee was the couple's buddy, actor, and comedian Adam Sandler. Picture that highlight reel. Happy Gilmore himself officially declaring Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce husband and wife in front of 1,000 of the biggest heavyweights across sports and entertainment. And that VIP roster showed up ready to play. The event featured heavy-hitting Hollywood icons like Emma Stone, Jennifer Lawrence, and Jason Sudeikis, alongside top-tier NFL superstars like Patrick Mahomes, George Kittle, and Baker Mayfield. Major franchise players, including U.S. Women's National Team Soccer star Alex Morgan and PGA pro Justin Thomas, were totally in the house. This was no ordinary wedding. It was a complete championship takeover of the sports and pop culture calendar under one roof. The NFL squad arrived in full force, including 3-time Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes and his wife Brittany, Chiefs head coach Andy Reid, former Chiefs locker room brothers Ross Travis and McCole Hardman, New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel and his wife Jen, 49ers tight end George Kittle, Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield, and all-pro wide receiver Cooper Kupp. Half the league's starting lineup essentially showed up to watch their guy get a ring. Now, here is where our sports coverage pivots away from the wedding and tackles what every fan thinks is coming next in the franchise. Because before the couple even exchanged their vows, a legendary guest already drafted a baby into the conversation on live camera, unprompted. That someone was Dolly. Welcome back, sports fans. 2 days before the ceremony, Swift and Kelce made massive headlines with a huge charitable audible. The country legend thanked the future husband and wife for funding her imagination library, one of the charities benefiting from that $26 million donation they announced right before tying the knot. The stat sheet on this gift is insane. Beneficiaries included the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank, Nashville's The Store, Helping Harvest in Taylor's hometown of Reading, Pennsylvania, Kansas City's Children's Mercy Hospital, and Harvesters, after-school all-stars in Travis's hometown of Cleveland. Plus heavy-hitting national organizations including Feeding America, the ASPCA, Grammy in the Schools, and Parton's Imagination Library. But listen, it was Dolly's thank you video that became the undisputed highlight of the week. She recorded a quick clip, thanked the superstar duo, and then called an absolute trick play nobody saw coming. She said, quote, "Now, it's clear that giving back is a huge part of your playbook. So, hey, when you have your firstborn child, can I have it? Because that is going to be one special baby." It was a joke. Every fan knew it was a joke, but it was the first time a major celebrity dropped the firstborn question out loud to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, right after they confirmed their engagement was turning into a real-deal wedding. And while the rumor mill regarding their roster moves was already swirling off the field, Parton was not done making it personal. She added, quote, "You know the mission of the Dollywood Foundation is to dream more, care more, learn more, and be more." Then she hit them with, "Thank you again for your very generous gift, and we'll continue that mission in even bigger ways now with your money." Then she closed the highlight reel exactly like Dolly Parton would, singing directly to the couple, "I will always love you." And the internet reacted like it was Game 7. Within hours, "Dolly wants the baby" was trending right next to unconfirmed wedding photos. The joke scored big because it tapped perfectly into the exact question fans had been asking all offseason when, not if, Kelce and Swift would draft a family. Parton just said the quiet part out loud on camera, 2 days before the big vows. That is the recap so far. A billion-dollar wedding, a Hall of Fame shout-out from a music icon, and a baby question dropped before they even said "I do." Now, hit like, and let's review the game tape on how we got here, because the road to Madison Square Garden started way before anyone put a wedding, let alone a baby, on the scouting report. To understand why the sports world is so fixated on their next big move, you and I have to go back to how completely crazy this matchup looked early on. The Eras Tour hit Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium for a doubleheader in July 2023, and Kelce attended the second show with his star quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Travis tried to meet Swift backstage afterward, but got blocked because he had not coordinated with her front office first. He struck out swinging publicly on a podcast. He told his brother Jason on their New Heights show, quote, "I wanted to give Taylor Swift a friendship bracelet with my number on it. She didn't want to meet me, so I took it personal." That sounds like a post-game excuse now, but that broadcast basically kicked off the most dominant celebrity franchise of the entire decade. A few weeks later, Swift shocked everyone. After plenty of media hype, she made her rookie debut in the now famous Kelce VIP suite at Arrowhead Stadium on September 24th, 2023, her first of many appearances at Chiefs matchups. From then on, it stopped being locker room gossip and became an absolute media juggernaut. Kelce did not play defense either. He took his game on the road. He returned the favor, flying to Argentina during Kansas City's bye week to back the singer at a massive Eras Tour show, with Swift calling an audible on a Karma lyric to shout out their new dynamic. That is not subtle, folks. That is a global icon changing her own playbook in front of thousands to hype up the NFL star in the stands. By the time the next season kicked off, Kelce wasn't just catching 1 or 2 shows on a bye week. After hitting a wedding in California, he booked it all the way to her Dublin concert, caught 2 of her Amsterdam shows alongside Mahomes, hit 2 more sets out in Gelsenkirchen, and wrapped up his side quest with the Eras Tour at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis in November 2024, right before reporting back to training camp. This relationship sprinted from preseason rumor to a massive cross-continental championship commitment in under 18 months. And it wasn't just sideline gossip anymore. This thing evolved into a heavy-hitting NFL business phenomenon. In September 2023, merchandise giant Fanatics reported a massive 400% spike in Kelce jersey sales. Welcome back, hit subscribe. Following Swift's massive debut as an Arrowhead spectator, she didn't just dominate headlines, she moved NFL merchandise, television ratings, and a whole new roster of football fans who showed up for her and stayed for the Kansas City Chiefs. She's attended at least 24 matchups, and the team boasts a staggering 20-4 record when she's in the luxury suite. Then came the blockbuster proposal, and here's where this offseason storyline really circles back to the Kelce family because of how the play was drawn up. The two got engaged on August 10th, 2025, when Travis Kelce popped the question at his Lee's Summit estate, right after wrapping an episode of his hit sports podcast New Heights. The game plan was elaborate, doubling as one of the absolute biggest sports media moments of the year. Drop a like if you remember this. They recorded an episode with Kelce's older brother Jason, where Swift officially dropped the news about her 12th studio album. That broadcast shattered the Guinness World Record for most concurrent YouTube podcast views, pulling in a massive 1.3 million live fans. While they were on mic, Kelce had his backyard completely transformed into a secret garden, using the show as a distraction before walking her outside for wine. Then handing her a stunning round old mine, brilliant cut diamond bezel set in a yellow gold band with custom filigree engravings. The sports world found out almost instantly, because that is their playbook. Flashy, public, undeniable. The huge engagement news was broken by BBC News on August 26, 2025. And true to form, they had some fun with the press release wording, with insiders reporting they joked, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." Almost instantly, after he put a ring on it, league insiders started discussing the post-wedding playbook. And the one word that kept dominating the chat was kids. Fresh off the engagement, sources claimed the superstar duo definitely wants kids in their future together, noting they might not waste any clock when it comes to starting a family. One insider put it plainly, saying she is in a prime spot with her music career and massive success, so taking an off-season is totally possible. As an editor, I can tell you that detail proves this wasn't just cheap tabloid guessing. Folks in their inner circle were already framing a family as a first-quarter strategy, not a late-game audible, months before the actual wedding day. Travis himself has been on the record wanting something different from his own childhood roster. He's talked about building that forever franchise kind of love with Swift, aiming for a totally different marriage than his parents, Donna and Ed, who only stayed married for the kids and finally split during his college football days. For a star athlete who watched his own folks grind through a marriage strictly out of obligation, drafting a family on his own terms with, Swift obviously means everything. It is exactly why so many insiders close to the locker room believe having kids isn't a long-term rebuild for this power couple. It's the next chapter in their playbook. So, by the time kickoff for the wedding date arrived, the field was already prepped. An August engagement, a full year of scouting and planning, plus a duo eager to start a family immediately. Then right on cue came the massive spending spree, the charity donations, and Dolly Parton requesting the baby before the opening drive even started. That brings us to wedding week, folks, because that is when the big money, the secrecy, and the wild maternity rumors all collided at midfield. In the 7 days before the main event, Manhattan basically became Fort Swift Kelce. This wasn't some rookie event that snuck up on the press. It was a heavily scouted event rumored for over a month, featuring security tighter than the Super Bowl. Reports that Swift and Kelce would tie the knot at Madison Square Garden had gained serious yardage since Page Six broke it on June 5th. But for weeks, the superstar bride and NFL groom gave zero confirmation and zero denials. That media silence only fueled the absolute frenzy. The strategy behind the arena choice made total sense once the sports world broke down the tape. The tactical reasons for the venue multiplied, ranging from the arena's heavy security infrastructure already installed, to the huge advantage that being indoors in a massive space with underground parking and zero windows was an elite defense against paparazzi running interference from above with pesky helicopters and drones. For a franchise couple whose every single play gets photographed from 3 blocks away, a windowless sports arena with a private parking garage was essentially the only viable play. Even the chosen date carried heavy stats. At least according to Swift's famous love of the numbers game. She always goes big for the 4th of July, which conveniently landed on a Saturday this year, setting up a prime-time wedding weekend. She's famously stated, "I love numerology. I love math stuff. I love dates." And check the stats here. 7 plus 3 equals 10, perfectly matching her well-documented obsession with that specific digit. It was also a perfect bye week for the groom, whose 14th NFL season doesn't start until September. Subscribe for more confirmation. When the news finally dropped, it broke through police scanners before any official press release. Cops confirmed the arena and date long before Kelce's camp said a thing. Meanwhile, Swift was out making highly public moves, definitely adding fuel to this rumor fire. She was sitting courtside with Mariska Hargitay and the Haim sisters, cheering the New York Knicks during Game 4 of the NBA Finals against the San Antonio Spurs at Madison Square Garden in June 2026. But you and I both know fans spotted a major clue there. Swift rocked a Stevie Nicks shirt, sparking massive speculation that Nicks would actually perform at the reception, alongside crazy rumors about country icon Tim McGraw. Then, just 48 hours before kickoff, a massive announcement totally flipped the narrative. It wasn't about her dress or the VIP list, but where the NFL star's wealth was heading. This official wedding confirmation arrived after months of relentless off-season rumors, right as the couple dropped a massive $26 million donation to 20 charities nationwide. That insane cash was split between pediatric hospitals, local food banks, and youth music programs in cities tied to the superstar pair, like New York, Kansas City, Nashville, and Rhode Island. This epic charity drive actually sparked Dolly Parton's viral thank you video. If you love these daily NFL updates, hit subscribe, because this charity roster was incredibly personal. The starting lineup included City Harvest, the Food Bank for New York City, New York Cares, the LA Regional Food Bank, Harvesters in Chiefs Territory, Brad and Kimberly Paisley's The Store down in Nashville, helping harvest in Pennsylvania, Rhode Island's Food Bank, Feeding America, the ASPCA, Grammy Inn, the schools, and Parton's Imagination Library, alongside education through music and after-school all-stars in both New York and Cleveland, Memorial Sloan Kettering Kids, Hassenfeld Children's Hospital at NYU Langone, plus Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City. Notice the heavy focus on youth charities here. Pediatric hospitals spanning 3 major cities, a book donation squad dedicated totally to newborns and toddlers, plus an after-school program right in Kelce's hometown. This was no random playbook of charities. It looked exactly like a couple thinking seriously about having kids well before any pregnancy rumors even hit the press. Other foundations immediately caught on to this huge emotional undertone. The Nashville Food Pantry, created by Brad Paisley and his wife, quickly tweeted their thanks publicly, declaring they were beyond grateful to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce for this massive, game-changing financial gift. They added huge congratulations to Taylor and the tight end on the upcoming wedding, wishing them happiness as they begin this next chapter together. This next chapter. That exact phrasing kept repeating from charity after charity all week. Drop a like if you agree this wedding wasn't the final whistle. It was just the start of a brand new season. The rehearsal dinner drove its own huge wave of headlines. Guests reportedly took home a premium gift nobody could ignore. A diamond-studded keepsake handed out the evening before the massive ceremony, according to the insiders at Page 6. Combine that with reports of strict non-disclosure agreements just to enter the building, and you see how tight the security really was. Even James Dolan, the big boss of Madison Square Garden, got dragged into the rumor mill. He told a local sports radio host reporters got half the playbook wrong, shutting down gossip that Swift and Kelce scored free NBA Finals tickets for booking their wedding there. He quickly clarified, Travis is in a mandatory training camp. By the time Friday night finally kicked off, all the crazy speculation about the arena, the date, and the A-list roster was over. The only question still floating around was the one Dolly Parton openly asked, when is the baby coming? And almost as if the universe wanted to script an immediate answer, wedding night delivered a massive trick play nobody saw coming straight from the White House. You and I both know a mega event like this never goes without some major drama. Just hours after the arena marquee lit up, the official United States government social media account decided to insert itself into the play. The White House wasted zero time trolling the couple's announcement right after making it totally official. Huge video boards outside Madison Square Garden lit up that Friday night reading Justin Tay married, confirming the powerhouse duo officially secured the ring. But instead of letting them celebrate, the official White House X account posted a heavily photoshopped version of that exact image, swapping the billboard message to "Trump is your president." It wasn't exactly a shocker for anyone tracking the intense political rivalry between these two sides. After all, Donald Trump previously claimed Swift was losing her appeal and flat out said he hated her, while Taylor openly clapped back at J.D. Vance's childless "welcome back." They faced that cat lady label endorsing 2024 opponent Kamala Harris. Old grudges, fresh turf, but our favorite couple didn't let it derail their game plan. This wedding celebration stayed in full swing. That's just one angle on the political sideshow. But the real headline inside the arena? Look at the starting lineup that actually showed up. Their presence signals exactly where this franchise is heading next. Let's break down Swift's inner circle. The pop icon's tight-knit squad of friends and heavy hitters packed the wedding roster, featuring big league names like Selena Gomez, Gigi Hadid, and Bradley Cooper, plus a veteran friendship going back 10 seasons. Dakota Johnson was cheering Kelce in Swift's playbook from the bride's sideline. They've been trading those famous friendship bracelets since 2016. Johnson recently covered Swift in a major profile piece, officially describing the pop star as someone whose genuine character she'd always draft first, calling her one of the most empathetic teammates ever. Now, on Kelce's sideline, the NFL world showed up heavy. Honestly, it felt less like a traditional wedding and more like Chiefs franchise reunion. The NFL Brotherhood turned up big time, including playmakers like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Sal, Miller, Trey Watson, Mike Gesicki, Cameron Saunders, and Kalen Saunders. Sitting front and center were the executives running the Kansas City organization Kelce has spent his entire career with. The front rows featured immediate family, plus Kansas City Chiefs owner Clark Hunt, his wife Tavia Hunt, and their daughter Gracie Hunt. But then there were the wildcard guests that surprised even the diehard analysts. Machine Gun Kelly showed up in black slacks, a crisp white button-up, and a tailored vest. He hit the groom's sideline thanks to his long-term friendship with Kelce. Both guys actually grew up right down the street in Cleveland. Kelce has scouted that hometown connection before, admitting he's been a massive fan of his since high school and college, and that watching Kelly's success felt deeply personal, since they came out of the same division. Also, one guest's arrival instantly stole the headline, totally separate from the wedding action itself. Supermodel Karlie Kloss, whose attendance officially benched those years of rumored tension with Swift. Even Hugh Grant cracked the starting roster, and the scouting report on that friendship is pure entertainment. He was just a normal guy in the VIP section watching Swift perform at the Eras Tour in London when he bonded with Kelce, later joking on social media about the excellent, if gigantic, tight end standing next to him. Now, hit that like button, because here's the real breakdown. It's not just throwing star power around for highlights, it's a massive signal. When Emma Stone, Jennifer Lawrence, Zoe Kravitz, and Jason Sudeikis share a luxury suite with Patrick Mahomes, Coach Andy Reid, and half the Kansas City Chiefs starting roster, you're not just analyzing a wedding. You and I are watching two heavyweight divisions, pop music and pro football, merging permanently into one dominant franchise. And family trees, as any scout tracking this power couple will tell you, only tend to expand. Sudeikis being drafted for this event speaks volumes about how deep Swift and Kelce's influence has gone. He's a die-hard Chiefs Kingdom loyalist and a massive Swiftie. A guy who shares 2 kids with his ex Olivia? Wild. He's publicly praised Swift for bringing her blockbuster tour to his home turf, officially dubbing her the city's adopted daughter. That stat matters way more than you think. A VIP list heavily stacked with parents Sudeikis with his 2 kids, Mahomes and his wife raising their own future draft picks, Vrabel and his wife. It puts Swift and Kelce in a room surrounded by veterans already playing in that next stage of life this couple is reportedly driving toward. It wasn't just a wedding crowd. It was a full scouting preview of the roster they're joining. When the post-game reception wrapped, the night's narrative had split into 3 major highlight reels trending simultaneously. The big ring ceremony itself, that sharp white house jab, and Dolly Parton's baby joke from 2 days prior, blitzing all over social media. Now it's paired with the wedding shots, like it was all one coordinated offensive drive. The fan base didn't need any coaching to connect those dots. The internet already crowned the wedding, and the baby countdown is the exact same headline, which leaves one massive post-game question. With the championship ring secured, what is the next play for two of the biggest MVPs on earth? Hit subscribe for more breakdowns, because here's the score. The wedding is in the books. The VIPs have headed home. That $26 million in charity has already started hitting local food banks, children's hospitals, and Dolly Parton's book program. And that looming question, tailing this power couple since the morning after the ring dropped, hasn't left the headlines. When does the rookie season begin? Here is the absolute truth. People inside their locker room have been leaking for nearly a year that drafting kids isn't a long-term rebuild for them. Sources confirm right off that massive engagement. The insider scouting report says these two want kids in their playbook, and they might not ride the bench long before starting that family roster. Sources tell us Swift is in an absolute prime spot in her career to step off the field when the time is right. Plus, Kelce's own quotes about wanting a different style of marriage than his parents had just proves this superstar duo isn't treating a family unit like some late-game afterthought. He wants a dynasty built to last, not a contract signed out of pure obligation. Exactly the way his folks' marriage ran before their final split. That is the exact quote you drop when drafting a family is already on the chalkboard, not some rookie hypothetical. And hey, speaking of highlights, Dolly Parton's video remains one of the most viral clips of wedding week. No leaked footage, no anonymous tip. This was one of the greatest entertainers alive, looking straight down the lens 2 days before the big kickoff, asking on the official record for the newlyweds' firstborn child. She said, "It is clear you two have made major philanthropy a huge part of your playbook. So hey, when that firstborn arrives, can I have it? Because that is going to be one MVP baby, folks. That is no rumor." That is Dolly Parton calling a Swift and Kelce baby play out loud, days before the wedding even kicked off. Play clock management that nobody in the comments missed. Add in the stats on those $26 million in donations. A trend does not need a press conference to be real. 3 pediatric hospitals, a massive youth reading program for infants, and an after-school league in the tight end's hometown. When a power couple funnels a huge chunk of charity straight to kids causes the exact same week they tie the knot, the fans will analyze the tape. And this time, you cannot blame them. Hit like and subscribe if you agree. Now, this does not guarantee a Kansas City nursery tomorrow, but it does mean the starting lineup is taking shape. We have a couple eager to start, plus a massive wedding event built purely around family, from Jason Kelce as best man to Austin Swift serving as man of honor. No standard bridal party, just blood relatives holding down the front line. A guest list stacked with parents already living the exact next chapter everyone is betting on. Plus, a bold shout-out from one of the most trusted legends in American pop culture calling for the baby before they even cut the cake. The wedding used to be the biggest question mark in this entire franchise. As of Friday night, that stat is settled, replaced by a billboard that showed the whole sports world exactly where the scoreboard stood. Now, the heavy-hitting question left is the exact one Dolly Parton broadcasted out loud. When does that rookie arrive? And what happens at tip-off? For a superstar couple who turns every major life play into a main event broadcast. The friendship bracelet stats, the Eras Tour feature, the backyard proposal that literally shattered a Guinness World Record, and now a Madison Square Garden title match that locked down Manhattan, there is absolutely no reason to think the next draft pick happens quietly. If the tape does not lie, when that baby news finally breaks, it will not just be a regular press release. It will be another night the entire sports and pop culture world stops to watch. Sources: NBC News. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce wed at Madison Square Garden. TMZ. White House trolls Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's massive wedding announcement. ESPN. Forever Always. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce tie the knot at Madison Square Garden. ESPN. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding frequently asked questions. Wikipedia. Wedding of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Yahoo Entertainment. Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce wedding VIP guest list tracker. E-Network. How Dakota Johnson, Machine Gun Kelly, and other guests know Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Rolling Stone. Dolly Parton thanks Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce for a $2 million donation. Reality T? Dolly Parton's cheeky response after Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's major charity donation. Yahoo! Dolly Parton teases wild baby news for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Extra TV, Dolly Parton jokingly asks for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's firstborn baby. The list. Dolly Parton thanks Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce for generous donations and drops a hilarious request. E! News. Dolly Parton cheekily asks Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce for their firstborn. News Nation. Dolly Parton reacts to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's $2 million charity gift. Bored Panda. Taylor Swift's recent sideline appearances and behaviors.